Nattie Forsyth is one of the most disgusting degens I've ever seen in the community, and it seems like he has finally left the internet with people like Jalen and Tipster even being done with them. The question is, what was the final straw? Jalen had decided to do a stream on September 9th of 2023 called Goodbye Nattie Forsyth. We learned that Nattie had still been saying and sending weird, creepy shit to people, with even flirting to some of them, and has been getting into debates with people trying to defend their past and prove they're not a pedophile. But they've been giving horrendous defenses that make them look more guilty than innocent. However, that's not the worst of it. You see, Nattie did a sleep stream a while back with his girlfriend, and I believe he was 18 or 17 at the time. Now, if you don't know what a sleep stream is, it's basically where you fall asleep on live stream and people donate to sort of wake you up. Depending on how much money they donate is really dependent on how loud the sound is. Now, like I said, Nattie did this, and at first they were fully clothed, but later removed their clothes on stream and was in their underwear with their ass out. And the girlfriend also took some of her clothes off, but not completely like Nattie. So, what was Nattie's defense for all this?
When we were on top of each other, we were just like asleep, half asleep, and I didn't like intentionally go on top of it to make it look weird or make a joke. And it was just there for like, I don't know how long it was that it was in that position, but yeah, it looks
you said it wasn't that long. You said it wasn't that long, and now you say you don't know how long it was.
Because I know it was a very long stream.
You were in your underwear.
I know that wasn't the
Yes,
entire
that's
stream.
subjective to the stream length, because if it was a 10-minute stream, not long would equate to maybe less than 1 minute, but you said it was a 3-hour one, so it could be 20 minutes. So it could be a 20-minute interval in the stream where kids saw that.
I said it was a few hours, and it definitely wasn't like that for 20 minutes.
Well, how long would you say?
Well, you were half
Do you have any,
asleep,
like,
so
sort
you
of
could have been asleep in that position, unless you weren't asleep.
Well, I said half asleep because we were trying to sleep, but also had like loud ass nuke sounds going off and just shit like that.
Yeah, but you know you can't have a middle ground. You're either asleep or you're not asleep. That's like saying I'm half a pedophile. Like that doesn't make sense.
No, being half asleep's a thing. Did you not know that?
Well, I mean,
It's not. You can't be half asleep.
So you mean like sleepwalking, or do you mean like?
No, I mean being drowsy. It's like not being completely
Well, I mean,
awake, very
if you're
tired.
drowsy, your
If you're
brain
drowsy,
still
you're
works.
awake.
And plus, I don't know how you like. Why would you be in
And
your
why would you
underpants?
sleep in that
Did you-
position? Because you
wait,
would have to be
I have a
awake
question. I have a more
going into
important
that.
question.
Yeah.
Did you like? Were you half asleep when you took off your clothes? And went
No,
into your underwear?
it was
that
very
when you?
warm. I already said it was very warm, and I was just asleep in my underwear. And
But
yeah.
you were asleep
Did
when
you
took
start
off
the
your
stream with
clothes?
your underwear on?
Well, like we were on the covers and shit at first, and just asleep, and it got really warm, so I kind of like just took it off my legs. And yeah, like over time when we were asleep, people move sometimes during the sleep, so yeah.
You moved your clothes off to just your underpants.
I didn't say that. I said
Oh,
we
okay.
were under the covers, and then I moved it off my legs because it was very warm.
Okay.
But did you know that
Um,
children were going to be watching the stream?
Yeah, and I didn't see a problem with being clothed. Like, even though I didn't have clothes, I had underwear, and it wasn't
You
nude
just
or
said
You said
anything.
you were
clothes, and then you said even if I didn't have clothes.
You said you were clothed. You said you didn't have
Because
clothes.
I think you're still clothed. Because I think you're still clothed if you're in underwear, but you just don't have like a shirt or pants on. Like you still aren't naked. That's what I view as being clothed still. Like at the bare minimum, it's
I
clothed.
mean, if we refer back to this wondrous image, I can see your like ass crack imprinted on the pants on top of your sexual partner, and you were both like half naked, majority like naked. You know, half naked is in terms for that. It was you called it a cuddling thing.
No, actually, she had full-on shorts on, like denim shorts, and
half
also a
naked
top.
and half asleep.
No, she had clothes on still. She was just had shorts on, but I only had pants, so that's why I had to
You didn't
basically
have
just
to.
go
You
on
didn't have
underwear.
pants.
And...
You had underwear.
So if Creekcraft decided to boot up his stream now, and let's just say him and Kayla wanted to get a bit frisky, and then he starts a stream, and then he's wearing just fucking pants, so you can see his ass crack, and maybe even bulge for all of his wonderful young fans to see. Do you think Dieter Plays would see that and he'd be the happiest camper in the woods, or maybe anyone else?
Minors.
I don't think Dieter Plays would be the happiest camper in the woods regarding that, nor do I think Hineko Kidden would. However, I do believe it would be more of a serious thing because he actually pertains to kids. Like he makes, jingling keys
make
content.
Roblox
I understand.
videos.
I understand. I still have kids watching my content. However, I didn't even see it as a problem, and like I wasn't intentionally like being weird or any. I was just asleep and moved into that position for a period
You
of time.
said you were half
And-
asleep.
Asleep or half asleep? Are these the same thing in your mind, or are they different?
And if you were asleep, did you just sleep, take off all your clothes instead of your underwear? Because you'd originally have to get on the bed and take your clothes off, and I don't believe anyone who's asleep really, can take all their clothes off like that meticulously and leave their underwear out like that. You'd have to be that or maybe awake.
Do you see what I mean now? Why they make themselves look more guilty than innocent? It's absolute horrendous logic I've ever heard. Anyways, Jalen tells us that people have DM'd Nattie privately about the whole live stream situation, and their defense hasn't really been the best, to the point of even lying. So, yeah, they've lied about the situation behind the scenes. Now, who's to say they haven't lied about previous situations? They haven't been completely honest, because I do find it odd that with the whole group chat situation, none of the people involved in that group chat have really come forward and said anything. So, yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. Now, Parla calls into the stream and does, sort of give some info on Nattie. More stuff, actually, that we don't know about. Now, do take this with a grain of salt, because it is an allegation at the end of the day. But still, though, I'm just putting this out there just in case, something comes up of this stuff. If something, comes out, or if there's anyone that knows about this stuff. But here's the clip.
YouTuber B tells me that their partner has been emotionally scarred by Nat when they were a minor, and that I'm gonna have to tread on this carefully, because Nat is friends with another person who is allegedly another pedophile, and also friends with another person who is allegedly a pedophile. I have to say allegedly with a massive fucking bold text, because if I call this person a P word without the alleged, they're gonna sue me, because I've been threatened multiple times with this. So the person's called Ripball, and basically them, Nat, and Hammy Jammy, apparently according to this YouTuber, are all P words allegedly, and they've all just subjected this YouTuber and their partner to horrific stuff in group chats and stuff. And the group chat where the 12-year-old was added, apparently there was a YouTuber in there called Pinkan, who's 20 now, but I believe he was a minor then. And Nat never brought up. Nat always said, "Oh, I had adult friends in this group chat, and the 12-year-old was added, and we never knew that they were minor." But apparently there was another minor in that group chat, and she self-admitted that that group chat's full of 9/11 jokes, gore, porn, all of that degenerate kind of incel behavior stuff in there. There's other minors in there, so that stuff's wild. I've went to Nat about other things. She's described herself. Some allegations are complete BS. I mean, the allegations YouTuber B has given me, not YouTuber A, because YouTuber A hasn't given me all that much right now. But there is some basis towards the YouTuber B stuff. But I think it was just the fact that my career's taken, well, not career necessarily, but I've taken a hit on Twitter for still associating with this person, and I was associating because I genuinely believed that they weren't a pedophile. But it's just gotten to a point now where there's just so many times they've done something weird, like when they were 18, on top of their sexual partner in just tight underwear in front of a bunch of minors on live stream. And when we confronted her, she does this really cool thing where she just manipulates and just warps the situation and goes on random tangents to try and belittle the situation, and she just couldn't make a proper argument, and it was just indefensible, really.
And yeah, that's pretty much the end of that clip, because after that, Jalen just sort of, once again, disavows Nattie and goes into detail why they don't, they can't support Nattie, and why even someone like Femios is getting tired of defending them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Femios later came out saying, yeah, I'm done defending this guy. Because I know Tipster did. Tipster came out during the live stream, not in the call, but later in the chat, and said that he is done. However, there is still one person who believes that Nattie is somewhat innocent, or at least not a complete degen. And, yeah, it's this thing right here. I'm not surprised, though, considering this thing also had this interaction with Nattie, so, yeah, no, I'm not taking their word for anything. Their word means nothing. So, what has Nattie said during all this? Well, they actually put out a statement on their community tab, I believe, and this is what it says. I'm leaving the internet for my own good before I do something permanent. I'm not doing good. More videos may come out about me. I provided a lengthy statement to a few creators, so you'll probably see it there. Much of what people say about me is disingenuous, but I've also made some mistakes that were my own fault along the way. I've been beating myself up for over the past nearly 5 to 6 years now, and I think it might literally kill me. I've booked therapy appointments and I'm trying my best to beat my depression. And then if I can do that, I can get my life together a little more. I live in regret day after day. And posting this to the channel isn't good for my mental health. I'm leaving social media. I don't know if we even managed to make a decent laugh of myself or not, but I hope we'll be able to get better. Regardless of anything, the labels people use for me are inaccurate. I've been legally investigated and cleared of over allegations toward me. But where I've made mistakes, I see a pattern of carelessness. And in current day, my head is just wrecked. It's not healthy, and I should have taken a step back sooner. The more I stay, the more depressed I become. The more time I waste not being in therapy. If you supported me at any point, thank you. If you think less of me because of videos you've seen about me, I understand. If you feel let down, I'm sorry. I can't change anything in the past, and words mean nothing. So all I can say is that I'll work on self-improvement. But I don't expect anyone to take this post as facts. Actions over words. If you want to defend me on the BS. Defend me on the lies. Defend me over what was investigated legally and refuted. But please don't defend where I could have done better to avoid getting into such situations in the first place. If you're confused why I'm leaving despite much of this having happened years ago, it's been eating me up inside. And it's all I've been able to think about it. Unless I'm literally either high or drunk, all I think about on loop is every mistake I've made on loop over and over again. I don't hate anyone else on the planet more than myself because I caused every problem in life, nobody else. That's about it. Sorry. I'm gonna go feel sorry for myself like usual and have a breakdown or something like the waste of space I am. So like it said in the community post, Nattie did give out a statement for someone to put out there for him, and that was none other than Amos, which I will leave a link in the description below to the post, but basically he put out the statement for Nattie, and yeah, I'm not reading all that. You can pause the video and try to read it for yourself, but I'm not reading that word for word. But from what I can gather from this statement, it's basically kind of like a retelling of what he said in the community tab, but he does go into details of his reasoning, why he did it, and also, you know, what happened in the stream. And basically his whole reasoning is that he thought it wasn't a big deal because nobody brought it up to him at the time, and also he didn't really have an idea of how old or young his fan base is. And he does admit, you know, that he was irresponsible, and he gets why people have a problem with it. So Nattie also brings up the whole gore situation where they were in a group chat and they had sent gore to a bunch of kids. And basically he doesn't really know how old they were. They said they were 14 and then later changed the age to 12. However, he feels like, you know, what he did was still wrong because he should have asked for the ages and then maybe that wouldn't have happened. But yeah, that's pretty much stuff that we already know. So I don't know why that's being brought up again, but yeah. Now, even though Nattie said in both statements that they were going to leave the internet, especially considering the circumstances with Hipster and Jalen, probably their last defenders really, and only friends, leaving them, you'd think that Nattie would be gone. However, this was said in Bo Black's chat. Absolutely pitiful. Ay ay ay. Look, overall, Nattie is irresponsible and incompetent. They get into arguments with people, and instead of proving they are innocent, they somehow manage to look even more guilty than before. It especially doesn't help when he makes tweets like this, or when he goes on streams defending Tipster's lolly situation and trying to justify it.
Yeah, what's your reasoning for saying that this is not a child?
Because the only argument that it is a child is that they've got a flat chest, when there's a lot of petite women out there in different art styles that completely avoid detailing the chest or making it, like, exaggerative and sexual. Like, there's so many different styles, and there's, like, literally, like, we don't know the backstory of the character, we don't know the age, we don't know any information about it, so it's pure speculation, and to call someone a fucking pedophile over liking it is retarded.
I mean, Nattie, just from my opinion, I don't really care about like the age or backstory of the character. I mean, if it looks like a child, then like, I mean, it's like if you like it.
Well, I mean, like,
just
I mean,
because somebody's
eight
like a
arguments
child.
go off of-
Yeah, basically to Doc, if it looks like a child, it is a child. So
Pretty much,
which is the smart policy to have.
Well, I mean,
when
you
it
know,
comes
just
to
like
this shit.
there's many people that like just look petite. Like recently, there was a porn star that basically had to appear in
Okay,
court
but I'm
because
talking
somebody
about
got
like
in
a
trouble
drawing. I'm not
for
talking
having
about like a
CP,
real.
and she had to testify in court that she was an adult. There were people that look petite. There were people that, you know, don't have huge titties. Like, it doesn't mean they're
Right,
automatically
but those,
a child.
but,
It's just
but
like,
the amount of, okay, so if we're
but-
talking about real
Which-
people, that like 22-year-olds, or I don't know the age of that woman that you're talking about. I know the case. I'm familiar with the case, kind of. But
Yeah.
22-year-olds that look like children aren't like. That's not normal, right? And there's not a lot of those people out there, right? So like,
why do you know why we have the age consent? It's not because of looks. We didn't just decide to have an age consent for no reason. It's because of brain development. If they were adult,
if we're going by brain development, the age of consent would have been 25, bro. What?
No, that's just when the brain's fully
like-
developed. By about 18, you've
Yeah.
developed cognitive functions.
Okay, what are you trying to say? I'm a bit confused. Anyway.
So around 18 is when you fully developed cognitive fucking, but around 25 is when the brain's fully developed. But you
So
can
What
wait,
you're
fully
what
make
saying
is-
is
smart
you would bang a
decisions.
1,000-year-old dragon. That's all I'm hearing.
Fucking good.
So wait, so I'm confused. Why? So you bring up the age of consent. So what's this have to do with the Wally image or that picture?
Well,
confused.
you're implying that it's a child and therefore CP and therefore very bad. So basically,
Yeah.
I'm saying that there are people like you said, like you just said that people that look young but are like 20. That's wrong.
Yeah,
When
but I
it's
think
not
the
about
average.
looks, it's about brain development.
I think the average person that looks at a picture like that will think that it's a child. Like it's just like how the average person that looks like if that picture, if we were to get take that picture and make it into an in real life person, that would probably be a child, right? Like you would say that
It just really isn't enough to
Also,
say that it
Really
definitely
isn't
is
in-
to call somebody
I mean-
a pedophile.
They looking at something that literally resembles a child.
It resembles
I
it
would,
resembles
like,
a chi-
yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, children
Yeah.
have noses. Last time I checked,
But-
and last time
but
children don't have
Nattie,
huge fucking
Nattie,
legs.
the other thing
We're
is
saying in a
that
realistic
it
art
doesn't
style.
look like a
children
small,
don't have
hold
super
on, hold
wide
on.
hips.
It doesn't look like a small person. It does not look like a midget. It looks like a child.
It's a choice.
You can even
not a
look at the
child.
Wait,
art
with fully
they
developed
have.
hips, fucking long legs. Like the cropped
Fully
image is all you
developed,
guys
what do
see.
mean?
What do you
It's
mean
at-
by
It's at a lower angle.
You haven't even seen the full image. That's
I
what I'm
have
saying.
seen the full image.
I'm not okay.
And it
It's-
sounds
it's
fucked,
at
but
an
the only way to
angle.
see how unshocking it is.
It's
to
at
see
an
it.
angle,
Yeah, it's at.
so it
it's
makes the
at
legs
floor
look
level
longer.
looking up.
It's literally,
Bro,
It's literally-
okay, like
This,
Nattie,
this
like
is literally just like
listen.
this
I'll-
is just faggotry. It's just like reaching for straws for no reason.
Nattie, if you're watching this, because I know you watched the videos made on you, just know this. I don't want you back. Nobody wants you back in this community whatsoever. It's obvious you aren't mentally prepared to have a platform, nor are you able to defend yourself in a debate, especially against any type of person, whether it's someone like Nick, Augie, a Cheeto, or just some rando like Spondyle. It's obvious you can't defend yourself. Jalen and Tipster were your last line of defense, your last friends on the internet, and somehow, even them, people who hate the community, who have said so many bad things about the commentary community, gave up on you. Nobody wants you here, and nobody cares how many times you say you're depressed or trying to get help from therapy, because somehow, at the end of the day, you still manage to make yourself look even worse. Just leave social media at this point. Leave it all behind. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, it is not worth it for your own well-being. Just leave permanently. But not IRL though. Don't do that. That's not cool. Anyways, it has been Esqueleto QZ. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other videos. Social medias will be in the description below. And just like the video if you dislike it, like the video if you enjoyed it. And with that being said, I am out.